It is that time of year again. Oh yes, my friends over at L'Occitane have set me the now annual challenge, but they've made it very hard this year. Or have they made it easy? So for anyone who's new, past couple of years, L'Occitane has set me the challenge to take their already lovely gift packaging and boxes and see if I can turn it into something new and usable. So if you are like me, a fellow millennial who cannot throw out a pretty box, because every time you see a pretty box you're like, I could use that for something. Well, let's see if we can take this already lovely packaging for L'Occitane, you're making my job harder this year, and see if we can turn it into something that A, is going to be pretty, B, it's going to be usable. Now, as you can see from the packaging, the print this year is absolutely stunning. This year, the L'Occitane Christmas packaging features Toile de Jouy illustrations by Calico Paris. Toile de Jouy is a traditional French illustration style and is rich in narrative and detail. These illustrations are more than a pretty pattern, as it's also a map where trains travel through citrus landscapes and magical Provence. So you kind of don't have to do anything because this is pretty on its own. And if you want to store your knickknacks and your bits and bobs, you can just put this on a shelf. Or if you need to hang on to your receipts and things like that, put it on a shelf, job done, video over. But no, I have accepted my challenge. It is time for this year's video with L'Occitane, where I take their lovely packaging and we see if we can make it into something new. For the first project, let's do some organising. So hands up who has a box and you throw stuff into it because it's pretty, but things end up getting tangled. Well, let's organise it. Let's make our own mini jewellery shop that is going to be super organised, so when you lift the lid, you are not going to find a tangled mess of bracelets and necklaces. So I'm going to insert in these mini jewellery organisers, and these are stackable as well, so if you want to add more into the box you can. You'll stumble across these in the likes of the pound shop, or you might even see them online, and they're relatively inexpensive. I'm also going to make a scrap fabric bracelet holder. So we're going to make a mini cushion, and I'm going to sew this by hand because I know a lot of people, they may not have a sewing machine, but if you have a needle, a thread and some scrap fabric, you can make one too. I roughly measured where I wanted it to go in the box, and I'm going to cut a piece of material that is 8 inches by 3 inches. And it'll be one long piece of material which you will fold over, and then you will hand stitch around the 3 edges, leaving an opening so that you can turn it the right way out and stuff it with a little bit of stuffing. I'm going to do a straight stitch all around the 3 edges, leaving a gap, and then I'm going to use roughly a 1/4 inch seam allowance. And a seam allowance is just the gap between the edge of the fabric and your line of stitching. And do not worry if this is perfect, it doesn't have to be perfect. When you are doing your stitching, just make sure that the first and the last stitch you do a back stitch or tie a knot in your thread so that it doesn't unravel, especially when you go to turn it the right side out and you start putting the stuffing in. You want to have some nice strong stitches so that they're not going to unravel on you. This can be a handy project if you get any little gift baggies, or sometimes there might be material inside of packaging, or if someone gives you a present and maybe they have used some fabric material as the wrapping. I know I'm just using some basic beige scrap fabric that I have, but if you do have something that you love the print of, this could be a nice way to use it, and then you get to look at it when you open up your jewellery box. Another idea, and don't worry if you don't have any bits of fluff to pop inside to make your pillow. In the video last year, I used some dried lavender, so you could fill this with some dried lavender, and in that way it's also going to smell really nice. Now I was wondering if you had dried lavender or dried flowers inside the pouch, if somehow that may affect jewellery. I don't know, if anyone knows that, let me know in the comment section. But if you want to fill it with dried lavender, you could have it as a dried lavender little pouch, so you could have it under your pillow, or you could have it in your clothing drawers to freshen them up. So just another little idea there for you. Once you're happy with the pouch, you can start putting your bracelets onto it, and you can customize obviously the size. So if you have, I do have small wrists, so these bracelets are quite small, but if you need to make a bigger one, you can just customize the size to suit the bits that you have. Now, it wouldn't be a video without a nosy cat. And Mr. Bon is getting in all the shots. Björg was here a minute ago trying to play with the runoff with some twine. Anyway, back into it. So I'm after just making this. I thought this was really a cute little way to, if you have like bracelets and things like that. So I thought this little cushion is a nifty way to use a bit of scrap fabric, but also hands up who gets lots of tangledy bits. So instead of just having a cute box, throwing all your jewellery in, then you have to spend an hour detangling everything. We want to keep this as organised as we can. So this, I think, is very cute, and it fits in this little section perfect. So we have our own little jewellery shop starting to take shape. Now I want to make some necklace holders, but for that I need some pretty card. So if you are lucky enough to get one of the L'Occitane advent calendars, not only does it have pretty paper, it's packed with the goodies on the inside. I'm going to be using the paper from this advent calendar, but I'm going to use it for another project as well. But I want to use it to make some really cute earring holders and organisers for our little box. So this is really, really simple. I'm just going to be taking some of this lovely card, and it's lovely and thick as well, and I'm going to cut it into little rectangles that fit inside the organisers. I'm going to grab my scissors and I'm going to cut 2 snips at the top, just with the tip of the scissors, and this is where you're going to pop your necklace into. So the goal of these is to help stop your necklaces from getting tangled. So they're kind of like little tags that you would see on necklaces when you buy them in a jewellery shop. I don't have any earrings in this box, but you could also use these for storing and organising your earrings. This project is an easy one, and it's also good if you're like me and you have forgotten someone's birthday, or you last minute need an envelope or a card, or if you want to just send sweet little notes to somebody. So I'm in love with the pattern that is on this paper, and this is a thicker card, so it's going to be perfect for a little envelope. It's going to hold its shape too. So I made a paper template for an envelope, and I'm going to use this to trace this shape out onto the piece of card. Then with my scissors, I'm going to cut it out, and then I'll be able to fold it all together, and all I need is a little dot of glue on either side of those little flaps. So when I fold them inwards, a dot of glue, and then I'll fold the piece on itself, and then you have just your little lid for the envelope. If you do use the card, the lid of the envelope, you will have to stick it down with a little bit of tape. Or if you're fancy and you have one of those wax seals, that would be absolutely beautiful. But I don't have any wax seals, but if you do, that would be bougie. And I just thought this is a really easy, simple way to use up a nice piece of card that you have. Also, you don't have to do an envelope. These would just be perfect as little gift tags as they are. So you could cut them out in the shape of a gift tag, use a hole punch to make a little hole to thread in some twine, and then you could use a Sharpie to write over the patterned card, or you could stick on a piece of paper and write the message on it. Now this next project, you might be thinking, how did you think of that one? When I was looking at the boxes, I was looking at them to think of things that I could do that I haven't done already with the boxes. When I was looking at the lid on this, I was like, this looks like a lovely binder folder. So I took off the box that's on the inside, and that easily comes off because there's just a little bit of sticky tape holding it together. So then I'm left with this lovely shape that has perfect folds already in it. So I don't have to cut this, I don't have to do anything. Originally I was thinking I could cover a journal, but the material of this is lovely and thick. It's solid card and it doesn't easily bend. So then I was like, okay, I need a garden and a bee journal. So I need to keep weekly records when I do my bee inspections, when I do inspections on the hive. And I've been saving them on notes in my phone, but so much handier to just have one on each hive so you can have your hive records. Anyway, I decided this could make a nice binder. For the inserts, I'm going to be taking, I think these are A5. Yes, they are A5 mini notebooks. And because the frame of this is quite thick, one on its own would look a bit lost. So I am sticking in two. And I'm going to use some hot glue to stick these onto the spine of my folder. Now, I noticed online there's a big trend for people making money wallets. I don't know if that's what they're called, but I've seen people and they have these big binders and there's lots of pockets in them and they use them to stuff their cash in. So they organize all of their bills. Now, I am not that person. I'm digitally kind of organized with my bills, but I have seen people doing this and I think it's quite cool. So if you wanted to modify the project, if you wanted to make one of these for all of your little envelopes or coupons, this could also be something handy to store seeds as well. So it's a bit of a different upcycle. Maybe I was a bit off on this one, but just when I saw the shape of it, I was like, yes, this is giving book folder vibes and I think I could make it work. I hope you had a little bit of fun with me today putting these crafty projects together, and just like last year I'm running out of ideas. So if you have any other ways that you think I could have used the boxes, or if you have ever done something crafty or creative with a box or a piece of packaging that you loved and you didn't want to pop it in the recycle bin but you wanted to use it for something, then please do let me know. If you want more inspiration, I'll link the videos from previous years together and I will put them in the description. So I did a lovely decoupaged jewellery box one year out of one of the boxes. I did a doll's house, which my niece still has. I also took like the little circular boxes and did that. There was like that trend for kind of textured wood on it. Panelled one of them. Yeah, I also made like a little fabric insert. If you are looking for any more ideas, I hope those videos will give you some ideas. But also, if you have no ideas, they are perfect as they are. And you can always pass the boxes on, put them into the recycle. They shall be recycled. Resist the urge to hang on to pretty boxes if you do not have a use or a need for them. I will link in the description to all the previous videos, and I hope you enjoyed this video. And a big thank you to Lots of Time for partnering up again this year for my challenge. If you're new to the channel and it is your first time here, then welcome. Please do say hello, introduce yourself in the comment section. And for my regular viewers, give this video a cheeky thumbs up. Let me know if you enjoyed it and I'll see you in the next video.